You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money. Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hello again. Welcome to Talking Real Money, the show where, guess what we do? We talk about your money. That's all we do. Well, we talk about money, not necessarily your money, but we talk about the things that make a difference in your financial life. And we have but one request of you. Okay, we have two, maybe three, but two. One, you listen. Two, you call when you have a question. You call before you find yourself on the horns of a dilemma. You call before you find yourself in an indexed annuity, because we want to help you before the fact, because it's harder after the fact. And here's the number to dial. 855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255. It's free. It's easy. I'm Don McDonald. Over there's Tom Cock. Say hi, Tom.
Lot to talk about this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big week. Yeah, really was.
All right. Well, thank you.
I don't think I'm making this up.
No, thank you for sharing that with all of us. What is it that's so important that you really want to talk about that you just can't stand waiting on? Go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about, I want to talk about your, in the audience, behavior. Your behavior, which it turns out appears to be better than we had said it was earlier.
Yeah, it is?
Well, you remember.
What did we say it was?
Well, a few weeks ago, we talked about how many people sold out of stocks this spring and moved to cash, especially people in their, those really old people in their 60s, right?
Like us?
Yeah, no, I could say that safely. But it was a huge number. It was like a third of people over the age of 65 sold all their stocks. It was some ridiculous number.
Yes, it was a big number.
And it was a big number. And many people still think that's what you do. The market goes down, you get out. Market goes up, you get in.
Well, of course. You want to get out. You don't want to be in when it's going down. You want to be in when it's going up.
Yeah, the problem is the ing. Gone down, gone up.
The issue. I messed up my tenses.
You did. But let's just pull this apart a little bit, because I think a lot of you really do get it. Because there's more information about all this that makes me feel better. According to Vanguard, I mean, this is surprising, right? According to Vanguard,
yeah, I like Vanguard.
Only 1% of the people in their funds, in their 401ks, move their money out of stocks. 1%.
Wait a minute, why
1%.
Why the difference between those two numbers, though? I mean,
think
Vanguard
really
says 1%. The industry says 30%.
Yeah, and I think the industry probably did have, I'm guessing now, many times you would call your broker in the situation, right? And you'd say, that fund you put me in is down 25%. We got to do something. And what do most brokers say?
Oh, yeah. Wait. And guess what we have? We have this great fund that's absolutely safe and only costs another 5% commission, but we don't tell you about that last part.
Instead, if your money's at Vanguard, most of the time you're really an investor. You're using, for the most part, index funds. You have a discipline and a strategy so that when markets go down, you do not panic. You do not move your money. You don't call us and say, what about silver?
Yeah, silver. I get your theory, but I like my theory better.
What's your theory?
My theory is that everyone has now listened to us over the years, and they finally, because how many billions have we sent to Vanguard? Really?
It might even be a T by now. I don't know.
So it's because of us. It's because we kept everyone calm. I like to think that because my ego, it makes my ego feel better.
Dream
Because-
on? Should I bring up Aerosmith here?
Because during the week, you bash it so that it's only during these little moments that I get an ego boost.
Yeah, I know.
All right. No, you're right,
people
though.
Don't even know
because why? If you have an index fund, you are already smart enough to know that you're in the market. That you know that the market is the place to be. So you're not going to get in and out of the market most of the time. Most people are not going to do that when they're with Vanguard. Their fees are low. There is no pretense of being able to time the market or get in and out at the right time. No pretense whatsoever. No expectation.
And we even had an article about a doctor who had moved most of his money out of stocks because he said, I think he was the same age as me, 62. I don't have the 10 to 15 years to make the money back. Mm-hmm. That's exactly that's a horrible thing to say, to believe, because the right thing is, number one, you should, if you're investing in stocks. Number two, your portfolio is about you, not about the COVID-19.
And it should be about you properly allocated, because if it is properly allocated, you are not going to panic. And you need to call us before you do panic or do something dumb at 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you're sick of your self-interested financial advisor and are looking for a 100% fiduciary low-fee investment advisor, call my firm Vestory at 800-386-3004 or visit us at vestory.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Really important stuff. And you can call us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. You can call 24 hours a day, but you can call Saturdays between noon and 2 Pacific, 3 and 5 Eastern, and actually chat with us live. 855-935-TALK. Hey, are we going to be here next Saturday? We're going to do an Independence Day, Financial Independence Day. There won't be a lot of fireworks. We can do the fireworks.
Well, you know that normally the July 4th is a big day in our household because for the last 10 years, my wife has done the Bellevue 4th of July, and that is 2 trucks, all hands, but
pizza trucks.
No dice this year. Yeah, no dice this year. So yeah, I'll be right here.
So it'll be sparklers and a pizza truck in the front yard.
That's an interesting idea. Maybe she will bring it here and do it for the neighbors or something. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that. Yeah.
Do it during the show.
Pizza here.
Do it during the show.
Burn down my office. That sounds like a great idea.
Good idea. And by the way, you can also go ahead and just email your question. Okay? Just send it to don@vestory.com. Just do that.
And you can do live chat.
Yeah, with our advisors.
Yeah.
Why are you on it? I'm not even on it.
I'm on it right now. Yeah. And we have calls anyway, so we'll go to those now.
All right. Well, 855-935-TALK is our phone number. Jan, you're up. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Jan.
Oh, thanks.
What's up, Jan?
I had a question about reverse mortgages. Are they better than the reputation they got when they first hit the scene?
Yes, slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're more honorable than they once were because they're now government regulated. FHA has some relatively strict rules and regs for the creation and the fee structure of reverse mortgages.
Yeah, and in all fairness, the costs have come down.
Mm-hmm. They're still high, but they've come down.
Okay.
Well, I mean, so most of them, it should be generally. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say is generally the drawing of your home equity for purposes of retirement should be the last thing, and this would be the more expensive method to do it. That's what I would say.
Okay, but what if I didn't want to draw any of the equity? I just wanted to not have to pay the mortgage, but leave the equity there.
Oh, well, you could actually do that. And it's not if you're in the house where you plan to very likely be forever and you have no intent of selling it, really, there's very little incentive to do anything else in that case, because unless you want to leave it to heirs.
Yeah, so because what you're saying is turn the mortgage around instead of having a traditional mortgage. where you're paying it down. You have a reverse mortgage where you really aren't, and you don't care about whatever interest is being taxed.
And that's actually one of the types of reverse mortgages they create, just reverse mortgages to eliminate the payment.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, the costs are higher than traditional mortgages, but that's to be expected because the risks are higher. They really are. I mean, because the mortgage company has a ton of risk in this case, in that you outlive their anticipated payback rate.
And the other part is to look carefully at what you're going to, if you did need to draw money out of it, what you're going to net, because they have tightened up the amount of equity they will loan on.
Because of their greater risks,
Yeah. But no, I think in that circumstance, and I think you have to be 62 to qualify. I think I have the number right.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, and then you could turn that mortgage around. Instead of having a traditional mortgage, you put it in the reverse. You don't have to make the payments. The interest goes, but you don't care because you have your where, as Don said, you're going to live where you want to live.
Yeah, and then say in 10 years, if I'm still alive, I do want to sell. That option is still available to me.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And in a traditional reverse mortgage, you will, even if the value of your house declines precipitously, they don't have the means to come against you for a deficiency judgment. So, if because they're not cheap, remember you're going to be sucking down your equity at a relatively rapid rate. So you may not get as much out of it at the end as you would just hanging on to it and paying your payments, but you're not going to be upside down in it either.
That was another thing they cleaned up a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you for for your time and information.
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. It did used to be the Wild West, though.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there were all kinds of horror stories about things that these reverse mortgage companies did to people, the fees they would tack on, the interest rates that they would charge, and people were losing, they were losing fortunes to unscrupulous reverse mortgage companies. But now that FHA is running those, they're a much cleaner place.
Yeah, they are. And I think for what Jan was asking about, that could make sense.
Absolutely. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. The one thing, though, with the reverse mortgages, the thing that you've got to be in a really special group of people. Now, the reverse mortgage salespeople will say they're good for anybody because that's how they make their living. And they're not good for everybody. You need to truly, totally understand all of the costs, all of the possibilities down the road. You need to have somebody who's going to run all kinds of numbers for you, show you where you'd be in certain scenarios. It's really important to find somebody who will do all that and not just try to shove a reverse mortgage down your throat without massive disclosure. And by the way, something none of us like to do, read every document if it takes you days to do so.
Well, I think you raise a good point. If it was me, I would go to a certified financial planner, for example, at a fiduciary, 100% fiduciary firm, and have them look at it and try, because there's also been this suggestion of you could do that and wait on your Social Security, for example, right? Provide cash flow when you're retired. That makes me a little nervous, too. So, I mean, I would have somebody looking at it.
There are all kinds of little shadier deals. The other thing, you can always tell when something might have issues if the government provides you with a right of rescission. A right of rescission is the ability to cancel a contract after you've signed it. And the reverse mortgage industry is one of those industries that does have at least a 3-day right of rescission, maybe more in some states.
Are we still in that period for our relationship?
No, we passed the 3-day right of rescission somewhere around 29 years ago, I think, at 29 years, 7 months.
I have a very good lawyer. I'm having him go to work on that.
Too late.
So we'll see how it goes.
Too late, dude. You're stuck with me now. I'm Don. That's Tom. This is Talking Real Money. You are the people we do desperately want to help. We want to help you get this right. We want to help you manage your money better. We want to help you avoid making some of the big mistakes that can cost you a portion of your life, really. 855-935-TALK is our number.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Most of you get really bad investing advice, but it's not your fault. The fault lies with a broken business model that dates back more than 100 years and some misguided investing attitudes. If you're ready to start investing and stop playing with your money, you need to find a way to bypass bad brokers and find full-time fiduciaries, which just happens to be the name of our next free online class, July 1st at 8 a.m. Is your financial advisor always required to act in your best interest? Are you paying them huge commissions? If you have a fee-based advisor, do you know how much they charge? And is it fair? Do you have a hodgepodge portfolio made up of a variety of hot tips and changing strategies? These are just part of what you'll learn during our Zoom class, Bypass Bad Brokers and Find Full-Time Fiduciaries. Register now at TalkingRealMoney.com. In addition to banishing bad brokers, we'll tell you exactly what you need to look for in a 100% fiduciary advisor. Save your spot at Bypass Bad Brokers and Find Full-Time Fiduciaries at TalkingRealMoney.com. Click on the events button. That's TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Well, because you know it's true that money makes the world go around, and if you want to go around in the right direction, you need to call around to 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. I'm Don, that's Tom, and
nobody's writing that stuff, obviously. And
nobody's writing any of this stuff. Alex is next. Alex, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm calling from Sweden. I have a question about the DFA funds. I read somewhere that they're going to be offering ETF funds soon.
Boy, are you up to date?
Wow, that was yesterday.
That's brand new news.
Woo!
That just came out.
It's already in Sweden?
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah, DFA is going to start, what is it, 3 ETFs they're offering?
Yeah, they're doing U.S., international, and I think an emerging market exchange-traded fund.
And I'm curious because I read that ETFs are in general more tax efficient. I never really understood if that's true or not.
It is true.
That is true. Yeah.
Because ETFs do not ever have to sell securities in the portfolio and incur a taxable event.
Now remember.
But these are minor taxable events. Yeah.
This is Dimensional already has a series of tax managed mutual funds, which are pretty tax efficient. I would not expect, unless you are way up there in the tax bracket, that using the ETF version of the mutual fund is really going to change your life from a tax situation. It'll be a very, 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 very small thing, Alex. In other words, I wouldn't buy them just for that reason.
And remember, there's one other thing about ETFs, and and this will again not be a major factor with a very broadly based ETF like something from a DFA or a Vanguard, but there is a bit of a spread between the bid and the ask. So you've got that, and you've got that all day trading thing. But I'm less and less concerned with that every day.
Go ahead, Alex.
I also read about another company, Avantis, I think is the name, that they offer funds that are very similar to DFA. What do you think about that one?
Avantis is a firm that was actually founded by the previous
Eduardo Repetto,
the previous CEO of Dimensional Funds, and funded by the American Century Group out of Kansas City. They do have a lot of products. We have been really seriously vetting them for use with our firm. We have been impressed with what we've seen. We love the fees, and we believe that that's a large part of why Dimensional is now coming out with ETFs, because these Avantis ETFs are very competitive with DFA's funds.
All of that said, Alex, because people sometimes say, well, why haven't you rushed out and used them yet? We manage about $500 million of other people's money. So we're pretty conservative about all this. I'm sure you could find firms that are already using the Avantis product, but we're very careful about this kind of thing.
And one other cool thing about ETFs, and this is a cool thing, If you have an account with an advisor, you will pay a transaction fee to all the major brokerage houses. Now, actually, they're all the same, pretty much. TD and Schwab are the same company. But with any of these brokerage houses, you're going to pay a transaction fee. With ETFs, it's very unlikely you're going to pay a fee or a commission because these guys are all commission free now.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Alex. Thanks for calling. 855.
We don't get a lot of calls from Sweden.
That's our first call from Sweden.
Oh, okay. I think I was right then with my previous statement.
While we had him, I wanted to ask him how the coronavirus thing's going there because they never shut down.
Well, can somebody call us maybe from Denmark or another one of the Scandinavian countries?
No, the other Scandinavian countries won't let the Swedes in right now. They're saying,
I know. You guys
but that's okay because none of them are letting us in either. It's like everybody's on the list. You can come into Europe unless you're an American or a Swede.
And I think to work with us, if you're in Sweden, you'd still have to have a U.S. tax ID number.
Oh, yeah. No.
But if you're in Sweden, there's probably firms there you could work with for dimensional funds, my guess.
DFA is now everywhere. They really are. They have very substantial presences in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, and the like. 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
You've heard that about 99% of all financial advisors are not always required to act in your best interest. You've probably been pitched financial products by all manner of friends and relatives, and the investing you have done is probably a hodgepodge of ill-fitting pieces that are doing little to provide the financial security you need. If you're looking for a 100% pure fiduciary, and we'll put that in writing, low-cost, fee-only advisor who always puts you first, give Vestory a call at 800-386-3004. That's 800-386-3004, or visit us online at Vestory, VESTORY.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Good question.
Hello again, and welcome back to our little get-together called Talking Real Money, the show that helps you deal with your dough on the radio and via podcast worldwide, including in Sweden.
He didn't sound very...
Yes, he did. He sounded Swedish.
Did he? Okay.
Yes, he did. What do you think that accent was? It sounded Swedish.
So I'd like to hear from some of the other Scandinavian countries that I mentioned.
You're not going to. That is the first international call we've ever gotten.
No, we had one from somewhere else.
Did we?
Uh-huh.
That's the only one I can remember.
I don't remember where it was.
Now I remember when
it was England.
I remember. Oh, we did get an England call. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I remember when I was on KOA radio at night in Denver. It was 50,000 watt clear channel. I used to get calls from Australia. Oi, Don, we're listening to you. And I'm going, really? You're listening to me in Australia? And that was before the internet. Before the internet.
Can you give out our international line right now?
Yeah, it's +1 855 935-TALK.
Okay.
And, that's cool, because apparently Americans invented the telephone, so they grabbed the +1.
I know.
They got it before. We're one. You guys are all 44 or something. Isn't England like 44?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
I'm so sorry, you guys. We got the one. Sorry. It's our one.
We're number one.
Alexander Graham Bell was a Scot, but he was an American. 855-935-TALK. These days, I know we're not that hot, but we're coming back. We're coming back.
Please don't use the phrase you could, but we're coming back.
Make America what it was again. 855-935-TALK. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. We have a question sent in via the email-y thingy, the internet.
Okay.
Ready?
Hit it.
Hi, Tom and Don. You got first billing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Listen to you every chance I get. Thank you for your wisdom. I would like you're going to pay attention. This is a hard one. Are you listening?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, because are you taking notes?
Focus.
All right.
No.
I would like to get your opinion on the following. I have 5 years. Oh, in 5 years, I plan to retire at age 65 and will get Medicare only. I will get my NRB, I assume full retire, FRB.
Yeah. FRA,
full retirement, yeah, at age 67 and will claim at age 67. Okay. I have an annuity that will start at age 65. I may need an additional $10,000 per year until my Social Security kicks in 2 years. I want to put money aside for this purpose. I'll be able to save $400 a month now to age 65. It is
$5,000 a year. Yeah.
Is it best to invest in the two funds for life, Target Date Fund, VTTVX, and Bond Fund, VTEAX, or the Total Market Mutual Fund, VTWAX, and Bond Fund, VBTLX, on a 60-40 allocation, or 70-30, or 80-20?
I would just use the balanced, the Target Date Fund.
The Target Date 2020? Probably the 2020. Or 2020.
2025.
2025?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but bear in mind, putting $500 or $400 a month, $5,000 a year,
yeah,
is not going to get you $10,000 per year until your Social Security kicks in.
Nope.
Not going to do it.
2 years, because that's 2 years. That's $20,000.
No, that's $10,000. $5,000 a year times 2.
No. I thought he said he needed 10,000. Pardon me. I thought she said she needed 10,000.
Yeah, she needs $20,000.
That's $20,000.
You're right. And there.
So yeah, I would. It ain't going to happen. But here's what I would still do that, and then Don will kick in whatever's needed. You're got buckets of money there. You can throw a couple bucks at it.
You want to see my bank account right now?
You're going to pull that up
You
online?
do not want to look at my bank account.
No. Okay. So in all seriousness, yes, I would use the Target Date Fund. It will realign itself for it'll reduce the risk over time. And by the time you need the money, it should still be most of it there, even if we're into a horrendous bear market.
But here's the deal. If that $10K per year is a absolute, you must have it, you got to kick that up to about $750 to $800 a month. You have to. Here's
the reality. Another reality. You may remember Social Security adjusts monthly. It's not a certain amount at age 65 and a certain amount at 67.
If it doesn't work out, then you can take it at 66. And it's not going to be that big a reduction. It's going to be an 8% reduction.
Well,
or less.
You could take it at 66 in 3 months or 6 months or whatever. So you don't. It's not that ironclad. So
you have flexibility.
So you still do the strategy, right? I think it makes sense. You do that and then draw when you need to.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Tom is right. There you go. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Stump the Tom.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Did you know I wrote a book? Yeah, about 10 years ago, I wrote a book about investing. Financial Physics, with an F, How Money and Investing Really Work. It's a short read. It's a really easy read because, well, as you know, investing is way too easy to be this complicated. And it's been on sale for a long time at Amazon. I updated it in 2018 to a new version. But if you don't want to buy it, you can go buy it at Amazon. It's $10. But if you don't want to buy it, if you want it free, well, you can get it free 2 ways. One, you can get a PDF copy by going to talkingrealmoney.com/free. talkingrealmoney.com/free. If you don't put in the /free, you can't find it. The other way is if you have an iDevice, like an iPhone or an iPad or a Mac, you can go get an interactive version of the book, a special edition that I made that's actually interactive, that's got videos and motion and things going on. And that's also free. Just look for Financial Physics, FYSICS, in the Apple Bookstore or Apple Books or whatever they call it now. Or go to talkingrealmoney.com/free, talkingrealmoney.com/free. And I guarantee you'll enjoy the PDF or the iBook or your money back. Check it out, talkingrealmoney.com/free.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Who knew talking about money could be so much fun? I know I didn't.
I didn't either.
I never expected it. Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Don. That's Tom. 855-935-TALK is our number. Talk about money with us. Investing, saving, spending, surviving, planning for the future, creating an income stream, avoiding the scams, the swindles, and the ripoffs that permeate this dumb business. 855-935-TALK. And Sam, you're up. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sam.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. My question is about Social Security. Do you know if I still have the ability? I just started. I'm 69. I'll be 70 in 2 months. I started in January. Do I still have the ability to give the money back? And I mean, I have to take it at 70. So do I still have that ability? Do you know?
I believe you have 6 months.
Yeah,
let
me look.
And by the way, if they won't take it, we will. Right, Don?
Yeah, sure. Tom will take anything.
We'll take it if you can't get it back to the government.
He takes chickens and farm animals of all time.
Pizza. So you're feeling flush and you don't need the money? Sam?
Yeah,
or you just want to see
it? I just took it, and yeah.
I mean, your benefit is not going to. It's going to. Yeah.
Now, Tom is going to say
it's going to grow.
Your benefits are only going to change by about 8%,
or a little less,
or a little less. Yeah.
It's like $120 more, I think,
a month.
Yeah. Let me just.
Which is, I mean, I'm not saying it's not insignificant, but it's.
12 months. 12 months.
12 months.
12 months.
6. So there you go.
So yes, you can pay it back, withdraw your application, and wait until 70.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
So it's 12.
12 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a while.
By the way, I want to mention one other thing.
What?
For those of you who took required minimum distributions and want to give those back this year, which you can.
Mm-hmm. The
government's letting you do that. You only have till July 15th to do that. So that's a couple weeks from now. So boom, get on it if you want to give the money back. It's pretty quick.
Oh, gosh, that is coming up, isn't it? I should
yeah, believe it or not, July is.
I should probably do my tax.
July, I think. I heard earlier on the show that July 1st is Monday, but I think it's actually Wednesday.
I should actually do my taxes then soon. Mm-hmm. Good idea, Don.
Oh, yeah. I think that's July 15th, too. So yes, that happy day is ahead of us.
I haven't done mine. I started, but I'm finished. Well, it's complicated.
It's not happening. I know. Me too.
855-9, and I do mine on my own. I don't hire an accountant. It's hard. 855-935-TALK I'm cheap. 855-935-8255. Call us. Asol, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello.
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 Yes, my name is Asol, and I think I just thank you for answering my phone. And maybe God will bless your show. So
thank you.
The first one, I just have to talk to you personally. Be great.
You would like to talk to us personally?
Yes.
Is that what you said? You can do that.
Where is location actually? And
we're in Bellevue. Our office is in Bellevue. But you can call.
I don't know.
We can do it online. We do it all online.
Let me be honest with you. I don't have idea on the computer. I'm not that education that much. But I'm blessed.
We can talk to you on the phone too. We can talk to you on the phone too. But it's easy to call us. Just call. Our phone number is at the office. For Vestry is 800-386-3004.
Okay, let me write down and I can get address and I'll be delighted because I really need help. Maybe God
if you need help,
I don't know.
Our people are awesome and they'll be there Monday through Friday.
I think you guys are awesome.
Yeah, they won't be there today.
You guys are
Pardon me, ma'am?
Awesome. I say you guys are awesome, actually, because whatever on the radio or what you do is blessing.
Thank you so much. Are you ready for the number?
My number is 907.
No. Don't give me your number.
Give your number.
Do you want our number at the office?
Yes.
Okay. It's 800 386 386 3004.
300 and what?
4. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
And thank you.
Just give us a call.
Thank you. I'm so happy. Thank you.
No. You're fine. You're fine. We really appreciate the fact that you called. And we promise, I promise you, the one thing that we promise everyone is that we will help anyone who calls us. Anyone who calls us. and we will not charge you for a meeting, and we will never pressure you into becoming a client, ever. Okay?
First time I'll be happy anyway, so to...
Okay. Well, we will help you out. I promise.
And maybe God bless you guys.
Thank you, Esol.
That's very kind. Thank you.
You're sweet. Thanks so much.
Call. Yeah. And by the way, that's one of the founding principles.
It was one of the, and we really, truly, most of these guys say, oh, you get a free initial consultation. Well, you know what they mean by an initial consultation? Yeah, we're going to, well, you really need to, we don't. As a matter of fact, I don't even, are any of our advisors very good salespeople? They're really not.
That's been a point of some contention.
I mean, they're really, these are intelligent.
They're planners.
Yeah, they're people who help. They're helper bees, not pushy bees. Now, one time we did have a couple of pushy bees.
Yeah, we did.
But now they're just planner bees.
Yeah.
Because we don't believe in pushing. We really don't, because there's no point in it. The point is the satisfaction we get from helping is huge. And the other thing, purely selfishly, is that we found the more people we help, the more clients we get, and the more loyal those clients are because they weren't pushed into doing anything.
Karma marketing.
Is that what we call it? I like that name.
Well, so that brings to mind, how do you find an advisor?
Yeah,
because
it's hard.
We are not a 5-star wealth manager. I just found out.
Jeez.
No, it's in the Wall Street Journal.
That's such a come on.
It does say
you sent me the
print,
ad.
Advertisement.
I don't get the print Wall Street Journal, so I don't get that paid article.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it's an article that shows some advisors. They're all like with LPL, which means they're stockbrokers.
5-star wealth managers.
No, they're not. They're just stockbrokers. And my gosh,
we're not a 5-star wealth manager.
Because it's silly. I looked one of them up. What was that firm? Let's see. It was,
Kimball Creek Partners.
Kimball Creek, which actually is a DBA for a company called Financial Advocates Investment Management. And they are they say right there in their ADV, they can sell you stuff. They're a broker dealer. So at times they act as a fiduciary. At other times they don't. And get this, when they act as a fiduciary, they charge up to 2% per year to manage your money.
So wait, sometimes they can act in your best interest and sometimes not.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes
it sounds a little like my dating when I was in my 20s. It's a similar kind of approach.
Sometimes you feel like a fiduciary. Sometimes you don't. Be careful with all these guys. Look them up. Read their Form ADV Part 2. Ask them, are you always required?
Come to our class on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you about that after the break. 855-935-TALK is our number.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
If you're sick of your self-interested financial advisor and are looking for a 100% fiduciary low-fee investment advisor, call my firm Vestory at 800-386-3004 or visit us at vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
I mean, wouldn't you like to bypass bad brokers and half fiduciaries and find a full-time fiduciary? Well, that's why we're doing the little class we do on Zoom coming up on Wednesday, which is the 1st of July. And it's free, but you got to sign up. You got to go sign up. It's really easy. We just ask for your email address so we can send you stuff. And you go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the event button, talkingrealmoney.com.
Realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. Are we done now?